Hey everyone, welcome back to Speak Flow, where English flows naturally. I'm Sophie.
And I'm Jake. Sophie, I have to tell you what happened to me at a restaurant last week. I'm still thinking about it.
Oh no, restaurant stories are always either really good or really bad.
This one is both. So I went to this new Thai place near my house by myself, which, side note, I actually love eating alone. Is that weird?
No, I love it too. You bring a book, you sit in a corner, nobody bothers you, it's great.
Okay, good. So I'm at this Thai place, and the waiter comes over and he says, "Have you been here before?" And I said, "No, first time." And he goes, "Great. So our menu is a little different. Everything is meant to be shared, family style. Do you want me to walk you through it?"
Oh, that's nice.
It is nice, except I panicked because walk you through it, I know what that means. It means he's going to explain the menu to me. But for some reason, my brain heard it and went, he's going to stand here and talk to me for 5 minutes and I have to respond intelligently about food I've never heard of.
The fear of having to have opinions about unfamiliar food.
Yes. So instead of saying, "Sure, that'd be great," which is what a normal person would say, I said, "Oh, I'm good. I'll just pick something."
You turned down the help.
I turned down the help out of pure social anxiety. And then I spent 10 minutes staring at the menu, understanding maybe 60% of the words, and I ended up pointing at something and saying, "I'll have this one."
The point and pray method.
The point and pray. And you know what I got? Some kind of salad with peanuts and like raw papaya, which was fine, but I wanted something hot. I wanted noodles, and there were definitely noodles on that menu, but I was too embarrassed to call the waiter back and change my order.
Oh, Jake, you ate a cold salad when you wanted hot noodles because you were too anxious to talk to the waiter.
When you say it like that, it sounds ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, but also I've done the exact same thing. Not at a Thai restaurant, but when I was in France. I ordered something I didn't want because I panicked and just said oui to whatever the waiter suggested.
What did you get?
Rabbit.
Rabbit?
The waiter said something about lapin, and I was like, oui, oui, merci, because I didn't want to admit I didn't understand. And then this plate arrived with what was clearly a small animal on it, and I just sat there thinking, what have I done?
Did you eat it?
I ate some of it. It was actually not terrible, but the whole time I was just thinking, I could have asked. I could have said, what is that? I could have said, actually, can I see the menu again? But I didn't because I was too embarrassed.
It's the same thing. We'd rather eat food we don't want than admit we need help, which is so human and so dumb.
It really is. And I think this is actually a really common experience for people who are learning English. You go to a restaurant, you understand most of the menu, but there are a few things you're not sure about. And instead of asking, you just avoid those items. You ordered the safe thing.
The safe thing. I bet so many people just order chicken everywhere they go because they know what chicken is and how to say it.
The international language of chicken.
But it's limiting, right? Like, there's a whole world of food out there and you're eating chicken because you're scared of mispronouncing bruschetta.
Oh, bruschetta? That's a trap word even for native English speakers. Some people say bruschetta and some people say bruschetta, and everyone judges each other about it.
Wait, which one is right?
Technically, bruschetta is closer to the Italian pronunciation, but in English, most people say bruschetta, and honestly, nobody is going to correct you at a restaurant.
Unless you're eating with Anna.
Anna would absolutely correct you. She once corrected me on how I said gnocchi at a restaurant in front of other people.
What were you saying?
Gnocchi, which apparently is a crime in Italy. It's gnocchi.
Gnocchi. Yeah, I would have said gnocchi too.
And that's the thing. Pronunciation at restaurants is this whole secret anxiety that nobody talks about. You might know the word, you might know what it is, but saying it out loud in front of a waiter and other people? Terrifying! Because what if you say it wrong and they don't understand? Or worse, what if they do understand but they silently judge you?
Silently judge you is the worst because you never actually know if it happened. You just assume it did and replay the moment in your head for 3 days.
3 days minimum. I still think about the rabbit.
Can we talk about dietary restrictions for a second? Because this is something that genuinely stresses people out.
Oh, absolutely. Because if you're a vegetarian or you have allergies or you can't eat certain things for religious reasons, ordering becomes way more complicated. You can't just point at something, you have to communicate.
My friend from college is severely allergic to shellfish, like hospital-level allergic. And when we traveled together to a country where he didn't speak the language, he had this little card printed in the local language that said, "I am allergic to shellfish. This is serious. Please make sure my food does not contain shrimp, crab, lobster, or any shellfish." He showed it to every waiter.
That's actually really smart.
It is, but he told me that even with the card, he was still nervous every time. Because what if the waiter didn't read it carefully? What if there was cross-contamination? You're trusting your health to a stranger who has 30 other tables.
That's a level of restaurant anxiety that most people don't think about. For most of us, ordering the wrong thing means eating a salad when you wanted noodles. For some people, ordering the wrong thing is dangerous.
And in English, the phrases for this are really important. I'm allergic to. Does this contain? Is there any dairy in this? Those aren't just nice-to-know phrases. For some people, they're survival phrases.
And the hard part is that menus don't always list everything. You might need to ask, what's in this sauce? Or is this cooked with peanut oil? And that takes confidence. The confidence to stop the waiter, ask a question, and make sure you understand the answer.
Which brings us back to the anxiety thing. Some people would rather risk eating something questionable than have an uncomfortable conversation.
Which is genuinely dangerous. So if this is you, please ask. Always ask. No waiter is going to be annoyed by an allergy question. They deal with it all the time.
All right, what about the social side? Because eating at a restaurant alone is one thing, but eating with a group in English, that's a whole other challenge.
Ugh, groups are chaos because now you're not just ordering for yourself, you're navigating a whole social situation. Someone suggests sharing plates and you have to keep up with the conversation. Should we get the nachos? Does anyone want wine? I'm good with whatever. That phrase, I'm good with whatever, I hear it all the time, and I think for learners it must be confusing.
Because I'm good with whatever means I don't have a strong opinion. Anything is fine. But if you're translating word by word, I am good with whatever, that's a strange sentence.
And then everyone's talking at the same time, making decisions fast, and you're sitting there trying to process what's happening. And someone turns to you and says, "What about you?" And you haven't been following for the last 30 seconds.
I've been that person. Not even in another language, just in English with a big group. Someone asks me what I want, and I'm like, what did everyone else get?
That's universal. The "I wasn't paying attention, just give me what she's having" move.
A classic survival strategy. Works in any language.
It really does.
Okay, but can we talk about the whole interaction with the waiter? Because it's not just about what you order, it's the flow of the conversation.
This is such a good point, because there's like an unwritten script that restaurants follow. The waiter says certain things, you say certain things back. And if you don't know the script, you feel lost.
What do you mean by the script?
Like the waiter comes over and says, "Hi, how are you guys doing tonight?" And that's not actually a question about your feelings, it's just the start of the script. You say, "Good, thanks," and that's it.
And then they say, "Can I start you off with something to drink?" Which is their way of saying, "What do you want to drink?"
Right. And if you're not expecting that phrasing, it can throw you off. Because in your head, you were waiting for, what do you want to drink? Simple, clear. But can I start you off with something to drink has more words, it's more casual, and it might confuse someone who's listening for the textbook version.
That's so true. Real restaurant English sounds nothing like textbook restaurant English. The textbook says, I would like the chicken, please. Real life is more like, yeah, can I get the chicken? And actually, does that come with fries or do I have to order that separately?
Or the waiter says something like, sure thing, or you got it. And if you've never heard that before, you're like, wait, what? Did they confirm my order or...
You got it is such an American thing. I never even thought about how confusing that could be.
You got it means yes, confirmed. Same with sure thing, or absolutely, or coming right up. Those are all just the waiter saying, okay, I'll bring that.
And then at the end of the meal, the waiter comes by and says, how was everything? And the correct answer, no matter what, is apparently, great, thank you.
Even if it was mediocre. How was everything? Great. Every single time.
I once told a waiter that my pasta was a little cold, and he looked at me like I'd insulted his family.
Oh no, what happened?
Nothing dramatic. He said, oh, I'm so sorry, let me get you a new one. And he did, and it was totally fine. But I felt so awkward about it, like I'd broken some unwritten rule.
You broke the script. The script says you say, great, thank you. You went off script.
I went rogue, but honestly, the food was cold, and the second plate was much better, so I should complain more.
You should complain more, politely, because that's a skill too, knowing how to say something's wrong without being rude. Excuse me, I think this might be a bit cold, is completely fine. It's polite, it's not aggressive.
Yeah, but in the moment, your brain is going, if I say something, will they be offended? Will they do something to my food? Will the waiter hate me for the rest of the meal?
Nobody is doing anything to your food, but I understand the paranoia.
Okay, can we talk about the check? Because this is another thing that confuses people. When and how do you ask for it?
Oh, this is so cultural. In the US, the waiter usually brings the check without you asking. But in a lot of other countries, you have to ask. And some people sit there waiting for the check to magically appear, and it never does.
And on the other side, sometimes you're still eating and the waiter puts the check on the table and you feel like they're kicking you out.
That's such an American thing, too. They bring the check while you're still chewing. It doesn't mean leave, it just means whenever you're ready.
Whenever you're ready, meaning we need this table in 20 minutes.
Yeah, okay, maybe sometimes. But the phrase to know is, can I get the check, or could we have the bill? And honestly, you can also just catch the waiter's eye and do a little writing gesture in the air.
The universal, check please, mime. That works everywhere.
It really does. I've used that in countries where I spoke zero of the language, and it always works. Some things are universal.
What about tipping? Because that's a whole separate nightmare.
Ugh, tipping. So in the US, you tip 15 to 20%, and it's expected, not optional. In the UK, it's more like 10%, and it's appreciated but not mandatory. And in some countries, tipping is actually rude because it implies the staff isn't paid well.
So you could go to one country, not tip, and it's fine. Go to another country, not tip, and the waiter is genuinely upset with you.
Exactly, and there's no way to know unless someone tells you. I remember being in Japan and trying to leave a tip on the table. The waiter literally ran after me to give the money back. He thought I'd forgotten it.
That's so sweet and also so confusing.
It was both. I was like, no, it's for you. And he was like, absolutely not. And we had this very polite standoff at the door of the restaurant.
The polite standoff. That's such a good scene. Two people trying to be nice and completely confusing each other.
And that's what restaurants are, honestly, especially in a different language or a different culture. It's two sides trying to communicate, sometimes getting it right, sometimes getting it hilariously wrong. And that's fine. Nobody died because you ordered rabbit by accident.
Well, the rabbit died.
Jake!
Sorry, but it's true.
Okay, I think the thing I want people to take from this is restaurants are low-stakes situations. They feel high stakes because someone's watching you and waiting for you to talk, but nobody remembers your order. The waiter is not going home and telling their family about the person who mispronounced bruschetta.
They're thinking about their own stuff. They have 40 other tables.
Exactly. And every time you order food in English, even if it's awkward, even if you point at the menu, even if you accidentally order rabbit, you're practicing. You're getting more comfortable, and next time it'll be a little easier.
And the time after that, even easier. Until one day, you're the person casually saying, "Yeah, can I get the pad thai? And actually, does that come with a side or like it's nothing?"
Like it's nothing. But it wasn't always nothing. It started with pointing at a menu and hoping for the best.
The point and pray method, endorsed by SpeakFlow.
Not endorsed, but understood. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today.
If you enjoyed this, subscribe. We do this every week. And the like really helps other people find us.
Share this with someone who gets anxious at restaurants. They're not alone.
All right, Sophie, comment time.
Yes. Tell us your best restaurant story. A time you ordered the wrong thing, a time you couldn't understand the waiter, a time you discovered an amazing dish by accident. We want to hear all of it.
Especially the accidental discoveries. Sometimes the best meals happen when you have no idea what you ordered.
That's very optimistic for someone who ate a cold papaya salad when he wanted noodles.
I'm growing as a person, Sophie. All right, everyone. Thanks for being here.
See you in the next one.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.